Thank you for joining me on the Endless Mountain Network. My name is Derek, and last week I received an email regarding government stuff, government leaders, along with why things right now are so bad in the world today. And what I said mainly was information based on the Mayan calendar and the transformation of consciousness. I understood what she was mentioning as far as the political stuff. However, politics is not my forte. I understand it. However, I don't know a lot to carry a conversation with some high education, if you will, on it. So the stuff in which I follow, of course, is the Mayan calendar. Now, at the time, I wasn't exactly sure of whom this person was, because when someone sends me a message, I'll read what they say, I'll push the reply button if I'm replying back, and I'll give my information back. I then checked the profile of this person. Her name was Annie Pattison, 10-year-old singing phenom from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I totally recommend her channel. It would be in the more info button, and I'll talk more about her singing at the end of this video. But for now, I want to talk about the Mayan calendar, because she was mentioning how every action has a reaction based on what her science teacher was saying. Science, once again, is not my forte, but I try to understand it to the best of my ability. And yes, every action does have a reaction. And the law of perpetual transmutation, saying how energy is never ever idle, it's always moving. That would be how I understand how every action has a reaction, as that is one of the 7 universal laws, which would explain it well. So she also mentioned about explaining or asking about the stuff about her from her science teacher. I'm not too sure what to expect, because what I am trying to say is very new age and very closed-minded by a lot of people. And that's what I'm trying to do, is help inform the people about what the Mayan calendar is really trying to say. You have a lot of people how they couldn't predict their own demise, so how good are they? Which, I mean, they did get demised off. Hell, these people were cannibals. I mean, but that was the time back then. People were evil back then, and that's exactly what I've been talking about on my videos. There's 3 main things in which I use, that I care for the Mayan calendar. The other stuff I really don't focus too much on. I don't focus on their past culture too much, because quite frankly, it's not important to me. It's the information they're trying to tell us that is important. And the 3 main things are this. Number 1, it's what some would call the galactic underworlds, or the 9 stages of consciousness, and I would argue that there's a 10th stage. I have that in a previous video, but the stages of consciousness are what we go through from time to time. Right now I talk about us being in a truth age, an ethical age, moving forward into a conscious co-creation next. This information comes from this book. It also comes from the Ian Lungold videos that are on my channel. The next thing that I look at is the mathematics on it, the speed in which everything goes. I love math, I love mathematics and formula of this type of nature, and I talk a lot about this in the Mayan calendar based on mathematics. You can do a search for that, and I'll explain the formulas for it and how fast and how slow things get. And this explains why things are going to go through such a magnificent change over the next little while. And the third thing that I look at, it really isn't in many books. If it is, I'd definitely like to read it, because this comes from instinctive abilities along with many other sources, because I take all the information consciously I have received. I question informations to both sides to the best of my abilities, and I try to put this jigsaw puzzle together to the best of my abilities. And what I am noticing here is positive and negative energy, higher frequency and lower frequency, and how this transforms from the start of time until the infinite start of time until the infinite end of time. And that is what I try to do. And based on those factors is how I make my predictions for what's going to be happening in the future. That's the easiest ways to do it, and that's how the Mayan calendars predicted this economic collapse. I come on here talking about why the economy is crashing. As far as I know, I think I'm the only person that does frequent updates on the economy based on the Mayan calendar. That's the reason why I do it, and that's not the reason. I mean, The reason I do it is to help as many people as I can. Like I say, I want to get as many people to understand the truth of the situation. And there's a big truth movement going on the internet, and I'm trying to help that for what I know, which of course is the Mayan calendar. And there's so many people, of course, that don't believe it. And once again, that's their choice, because everyone's got the choice to believe in what they want to believe. But I have spent so much time on this that I know that what they talk about feels right, and I'm so confident in it being right. And we'll find out in the next 10 years if I'm right or wrong, because my predictions are of that. If you call 10 years the short term, my predictions, of course, are very short-term predictions. Now, like I said, it was a 10-year-old child who watched my videos, a very smart child, but then again, she's an upcoming singer. I've seen her, all of her videos now, and I love the confidence she had in the Calgary football game when she came on to sing the national anthem with so much confidence, and that was what I was really impressed with. So I'm not too sure exactly how to teach children this information as far as love and fear on the frequency, because first of all, children come in with pure love. In fact, they're the best ones to listen to or learn from in that sense, but they have to develop, and we as humans are teaching our beliefs onto them, and quite frankly, we have been lied to so much by so much, and that's exactly what the calendar talks about as far as the positive and negative energy, and that's what negative or lower frequency is all about, is lying. So we're giving our children all of these lies and implementing our belief systems onto them instead of letting them develop their own belief systems. So as far as teaching moving into the love frequency, I am not entirely sure how to do it, but one thing I do is talk to children like adults. So I'm definitely going to talk to you like an adult on this. And the best message that I can give is eliminate as many fears to the best of your abilities, and to try to get that feeling of love, the higher frequency, and try to obtain it the best way that you can. Find out who you are, accept who you are, enjoy who you are, and have a good time with life as you move forward. That to me is the easiest and best way that I can explain the Mayan calendar, because I'm not too sure exactly what kind of reaction you're going to get from your science teacher, because a lot of people are close-minded to the New Age philosophies, which of course that I'm on here that I'm talking about. Now, as far as your work, Annie, I'm going to put a link in the more info for people to view your channel. You are a very tremendous singer, and like I say, I would talk to you like I would talk to an adult. And although I'm not a music guru, you know 20, 30, 50, 100 times more about music than I would, because that's who you are. But one thing that I had fun doing with when I used to watch American Idol, and I haven't watched it since the Carrie Underwood days, but I'd watch it and I'd give my own comments based on what I think, on how they sang, and I would predict what Randy, Paula, and Simon would say, and what I predict based on the favorite song of mine, which was Here I Am, that I think is the best song that you have done, but what I predicted each one of them would say. First of all, Randy, I think, would have given you very good comments. Paula would have cried saying how amazing you are. And Simon would have not given you negative comments, which quite frankly is very positive. So that's what I would expect from it. I thought you nailed that song perfect, and I think you are a very good singer. I think you already are good enough at this moment right now to be in there with the big boys, if you will, as far as you could win contests and you could sell albums, in my opinion, based on your talents right now. Keep on doing the great work. Keep on loving what you are doing and finding out who you are, and then just going with it, just loving it and moving forward, because I am very impressed with how well you have sang, and right off the bat you are in there as a top 30, 40 artist of the people that I've listened to, and that, quite frankly, for myself, that says a lot, because you sing very, very well. So that's the message to Annie. Of course, this message was for everybody. Check out the link for her channel, and that's what I talk about as far as the Mayan calendar. I have a playlist on my channel, which is all my Mayan calendar videos, so you can go through there, check whichever ones you want, but it's not a doomsday scenario. It's not the end of the world. It looks like the end of a great big age, but not the end of the world. So thank you everybody for watching. In Lakesh, feel the love, accept the love, and share the love. Bye-bye everyone.